Welcome back to CryptosRUs. I am George. We're all George. So I think I did say I had a feeling today that Bitcoin was going to break into a new high. And I believe that happened. Yes, it did. Bitcoin topped out at $94,000. That's right. Man, it seems like every single day we have great, and on top of that, great news. So let's talk about what happened today. We had a very first today. So let's talk about it. Besides the all-time high, we had several great things happen today. And let's talk about some crypto altcoin narratives that you guys should be aware of as we break more and more into new high territory for Bitcoin. All right, let's take a look. All right, let's do it. Welcome, guys. Right now, we're not all-time high. We came down a little bit, but you could see, even when zoomed out, we're just trending upwards. More and more upwards. You could definitely see this trend line, right? It's clear as day. We're just trending upwards slowly, and we're just not coming down. We're just slowly trending upwards. And you could see we topped out at 94,178. And pretty soon, we're going to trend right up to $100,000. That is right around the corner. And every single day, it seems like we get better and better news. We got some more today, okay? Even though we started out bad, the broader market was not good. I told you guys, I had a feeling this morning was great, and we had something new that we never had before. And you know what? Again, Big Daddy Sailor and his company, MicroStrategy, led the way, closed not only above 400, closed at 430, another 12% day, aftermarket plus 2%. Man, it just doesn't stop. Just like Bitcoin. And we got some news. I got some news about Sailor too. But let's talk about this. Trump picks Cantor Fitzgerald CEO Howard Lutnick to become the Commerce Secretary. Okay, why is this a big deal? Because he is a very He's a very pro-Bitcoiner, pro-crypto guy, okay? Again, I've been talking about this. There's a commonality here. Every single person that Trump is picking is very pro-crypto, okay? Like every single person. 2025 is shaping up to be a very pro year. Not only is it the most bullish year of the 4-year cycle, but everything Trump is doing, he's a man of his word. He said he's going to make Bitcoin, or the US, the capital of the world for Bitcoin and crypto. And that's exactly what he's doing. He may not be the most knowledgeable guy, but he's surrounding himself with all pro Bitcoiners. And you know what? And Howard's predicting that US banks are all going to hold Bitcoin within 5 years. That's not going to be a surprise, especially if, he's pushing it and everyone else in between is pushing it, especially if the US itself is going to be holding Bitcoin as a strategic reserve asset, right? it makes sense. It's just, I mean, again, you know, we're just getting all bullish news right now. Bitcoin just continues to go upwards and upwards. This is what I've been telling you guys to DCA, right? You know how I kind of goofed up and said Bitcoin is at 60,000. Remember, I've been saying 60,000 for how many months this year? And you guys were getting kind of sick of me saying 60,000. Now that we're just at 90,000, we just keep trending upwards. Don't you guys miss those 60,000 days? Where are those 60,000 days? Where are those 49,000, 50,000 days? Don't you wish they would come back? We're not going to get those days back. Now we're at 90,000 plus, and we're going to get 100,000 plus soon. It just seems like we're at an onslaught, like of goodness now. And the reason why we got to 94,000 is because today is the first time we got ETF options, okay, led by BlackRock. It's a big deal because options generally bring in a ton of volume and liquidity. Options themselves, a derivative, bring in a stupid amount of volume. Generally speaking, if you look at just traditional volumes on Wall Street, traditional options on Wall Street, their magnitude's more volume than just ETFs alone or the commodities that they're based off of. It's just like enormously much bigger. And right now, we just don't have that. But now we do. Prior we didn't have that. So this definitely had a huge effect, and we're probably going to have a huge effect going forward because of it. So today we had 1.9 billion. That's just the first day alone, guys. And that first day alone, we had 82% calls, 18% puts. And again, the first day caused Bitcoin to hit a new high. Okay, what about day 2, day 3, day 100, day 1,000? It's going to keep causing this like endless effect. And not only the options, but ETFs. You know, I was laughing at these idiots that sold days prior. We had this negative 400 million day, negative 370 million days. Those fools now are buying back at a higher price. So yesterday we had an inflow of 254. Today we had an inflow of 600 million, not even counting BlackRock's number. So I don't know how much BlackRock had an inflow, right? This is why you don't sell Bitcoin. You don't want to give up your wealth to someone else. The reason why you could always sell it because there's someone else on the other side that's smarter that is taking up your Bitcoin. At this point in time, I think it's pretty obvious you don't want to give it up because there's not enough to go around. There really isn't. More good news. Rumble, which is an alternative streaming site to YouTube, I've used it before. Their CEO has, as a company, has $131 million in cash. He also does not like to see that cash just burn away due to inflation. Okay, so he posed a question on Twitter. Should Rumble add Bitcoin to its balance sheet? And guess who responded? Big Daddy Sailor. Yes, I would be happy to discuss why and how with you, DM you right now. So guess who's going to be adding Bitcoin to their balance sheet soon? I'm pretty sure Sailor is going to make a compelling argument why he should be buying Bitcoin. But that's not all. You know who else Sailor is going to talk to next month? Microsoft. Remember we talked about how Microsoft is going to have a big shareholders discussion or meeting about whether or not they should be buying Bitcoin? Yeah. Microsoft is going to be listening to Sailor and his presentation on why they should be buying Bitcoin. And it's really hard for them to ignore at this point, right? And they have VanEck also in attendance, right? It's really hard for them to ignore this. This is a serious matter, especially now. Bitcoin is 90,000 plus, about to enter 100,000. You see what MicroStrategy is doing, how hot their stock is, and you're seeing global adoption. You're seeing the new administration, what Trump is about to do. Microsoft has to take this seriously, right? This is no longer a joke. So imagine next month when Microsoft says, we will start buying Bitcoin and putting it on our balance sheet. What effect that's going to have. Then you're going to have Apple and Meta and Nvidia and the biggest companies on the planet all joining in, and they're all go buy Bitcoin. Think about how fast things have progressed within just a matter of a few months. It's getting wild. It's getting really, really wild. And of course, VanEck gives official backing to Trump's Bitcoin reserve strategy. And I think everyone is on board with this. Once the US starts doing this, everyone is going to join in. I don't think any country on the planet will sit out. They're all going to be joining in. And it's going to cause mass panic. Everyone's going to FOMO in from a nation state perspective. Companies are going to start FOMOing in. Whales, institutions, retail, everyone is going to FOMO in. And if you're, according to Google search, I mean, retail's not even really FOMOing, but eventually they will. Above 100,000, everyone's going to be searching for it. It's going to be glorious. It's going to be absolutely glorious. But beyond Bitcoin, what else is there? Well, for 2025, well, we still have a month left, a month and a half left, and 2025. What are some other narratives that retail and you guys may be interested in? Well, I think it's pretty obvious. Number one, memes, meme coins, right? So many people want to get rich off of meme coins, and so many people have, with a few exceptions, that made millions right away. But, a lot of people have made a good amount of money. But then you have others, prediction markets, real world assets. You have chains like Solana and others, right? You have DPINs, you have AI, DeFi. I mean, there's so many out there. So, there are a lot of options, right? But meme coins, I just showed you how Bitcoin searches on Google isn't at all-time high. But meme coins are. If you're searching meme coin search results, it is at an all-time high because we've never had the ability to create meme coins like what we do now. With Pump.fun and all these other meme coin generators, it is so easy to create memes left and right. It's actually crazy. There are a lot of rugs out there, a lot of pump and dumps. There are thousands of memes being created every day. But there are some good ones out there. And there are some that total gamble, right? And they blow up. Sometimes they just blow up out of nowhere. I don't know. Sometimes they just do. Sometimes they sound really stupid. And they do. Like the recent one, like Peanut the Squirrel. I thought it was so stupid and it blew up. It's 1.6 billion. Prior to that, you had Goat that blew up, 1.2 billion. And then you had something like Neuro and Popcat, Book of Meme. You got just random stuff that just blew up. recently, right? You have Brett from earlier this year. You got Meow and Mog that was from earlier this year. Notcoin. I mean, there's so many that randomly blew up. You just don't know sometimes. They're not rugs, but they're just random blowups. So that's why people love memes. People love to dream that they can catch one and somehow make them a ton of money, right? Instantly. It's like playing the lotto. It's like buying a scratch ticket, right? You're just hoping that you catch one. But in most cases, you don't, and you end up losing money. But, it's fun. That's why if you want to play memes, that's fine. You want to put something in your portfolio, that's fine. But don't go all in. Don't go too crazy into them because your chance of losing money is higher than making money. That's how it works with meme. But doesn't mean you can't make money. And there are some that do this. Someone turned $16 into $3 million in 2 weeks. There are some people that have done this. Was Shiba in the last cycle turned, I don't know what the thing is, like $100 into $6 billion. Sometimes it happens. How often? It's like 1 in a billion. Okay, so don't think that it happens often, but yes, maybe 1 in a billion it happens. And that's why people love to play with it, right? Sometimes it happens, like PopCat also, it made a lot of people a lot of money. But still, again, you gotta be careful with memes. I know people love memes, but in my opinion, more people lose money with memes than make money. That's for sure. But people are speculating. I was talking about like prediction markets, right? There's prediction markets. Which coin is going to be listed on Coinbase next? PopCat, Peanut, Goat, Mog, Neuro, none of the above. I think they're missing one. I think it could be Brett because Brett is on base. So it kind of makes sense that they would probably list that one in front of all these. Or it could be PopCat. I'm just speculating. I don't know. Just to throw some out there, right? So people are always speculating. Whatever gets hit on Coinbase, it's probably going to blow up. Just like Pepe recently got listed, WIF got listed recently. They both blew up, but they were already around for quite some time. So you just don't know sometimes with Coinbase. What else is there? Okay, another prediction. Bitcoin hitting 100,000 this year. Finally at 72%. It should really be at 99% at this point. I mean, come on. We hit 64,000 today. That's only 6,000 points away, and it's still only at 72%. How is this not at 99%? I don't know. I think that's a pretty sure bet. Another category is RWA. A lot of you guys love RWA. There are a lot of projects in RWA. This may be misleading because, a lot of chains and stuff are kind of in RWA, but they're not directly involved. But, like Avalanche is, Chainlink is, I don't know if VeChain is, but Ondo and some of these others are. But, RWA is another category. I would say directly involved in real-world asset tokenizing. There's just like few specific ones, but there are a lot of chains that's kind of also involved. So me personally, I do like chains, and I do like Avalanche, and I like Chainlink too. I think they're big contenders. But also, if you're looking, another category is AI. Now, tomorrow, after hours, NVIDIA reports, okay? NVIDIA earnings is going to be a big one. Now, if NVIDIA reports really good earnings, which I think they will, once again, a lot of crypto projects related to AI will probably do well, right? Render being one of them. Render is in the AI space. It's in a DeepIn space too. It's basically utilizing GPUs to process a lot of large amounts of data for AI processing. So, they might do well. You got Fetch that's also in the AI space. And you got several others, but, you also have like Injective that's also in it. which is a L1. You also have someone like Near that's also an AI. So you have also chains that's involved with AI as well, right? So kind of indirectly, kind of like with RWA, you have chains that are involved. Injective actually has not been doing much recently. So we'll see. We'll see. Yeah, so there are a lot of categories out there, right? A lot of categories, a lot of narratives. Right now, we're starting to see like mini pumps, mini altcoin season, a little bit, not really a whole mini altcoin season, but as we move higher with Bitcoin, as we get more into this bull market, we are going to see money flow, and then we're going to see a lot more alts move upwards, right? Obviously, we've been seeing a lot with, recently we saw a big movement with Solana. We saw a big movement with XRP, with Cardano, with Hedera. We saw a lot of these move, but there are still others that haven't made big moves. But we will. Sui also made a big move. Some of the memes have made big moves, but there are many that haven't, and I think they will get their turns, but obviously not yet. Not yet. All right. Let's do Q&A. I just saw someone say bonk blew up. I got a nice good long on bonk, so I'm glad to hear that. All right, scrolling up. Let me see if I missed anything. It'll be fantastic. Today we broke to 94,000. Tomorrow, I can't wait to see when the market opens. Man, we get so much buying pressure now. Tomorrow we could break into 95,000. Who knows? Who knows? Axon asked about DeSci, decentralized science is FOMO. I don't know what decentralized science is actually. I actually don't know what that is. Michael Saylor selling Bitcoin for XRP. Please advise. That is total lie. And I'm going to put you in timeout just for that. Let's see. Scrolling. Do you think NVIDIA is going to block or interpret render by a software update? Why would they do that, Joseph? Render is helping them. Most people are using NVIDIA cards, so no, I don't think they will be doing that. ADA, I was looking at ADA. ADA's trying to break out. Like, its recent high of like 77 cents, it really can't break out. But if it can, if Cardano go break 77 cents, it'll be very promising. Right now, it cannot. It's been stuck here, but I don't know. It's looking like it wants to. Like, this is third time's the charm. It looks like it's not enough volume right now, but if it could just break out like right here, it could be heading into 80s, 90s. I don't even know where the next stop is. Where's the... Oh, no wonder. No wonder it's having a hard time because it's March high. It's March high is right around here, like 77 cents. No wonder it can't break out of here. Let me just draw a line. But if it could break out of here, man, that would be very, very positive for Cardano. And then after that, man, Cardano has, Cardano could go way, way, way high. It could go to like 90, $1. The dollar's probably the next resistance. Cardano has really not broken out for a long time, so yeah. So they're finally at the March high, and if they could break out of that, be like $1 next. Bitcoin is 7th now in market cap of all market caps. It's good to know. McChubbin, thanks George for getting me a big red. They added a 5th horse. That's really fast. They only had 1 before. I don't know how they got into 5 so fast, but good for them. Jesneil, Bonk or Pepe? Bonk is picking up steam finally. Pepe is much bigger, but I'm glad to see Bonk. Oh. Ooh, Bonk is really going up now. I'm glad to see Bonk pick up some momentum because Bonk has been stagnant for a very long time. Yeah, that's cool. What's their... Are they at all-time high? Wow. Bonk might be at all-time high right now. Where are they at? 4.3 billion. Wow, look at that jump. They're all-time high. And Pepe's like 10 billion. 8? Yeah, Pepe's still double. Good for Bonk. They are severely overbought at this point. Not as overbought as when they were in March. So maybe they still got some legs. Yeah, on the 4-hour, they could still go up. Oh, that's looking good. Jesneil, at this point, I think they could both do well. I think Bonk could be like the Shiba of this cycle, and Pepe could be the Doge of this cycle. Jay's asking, is Matic dead? I hope not. I hope not. Another George says, why do I feel bad when I sell Bitcoin? I don't know. And please don't use that. Don't use my profile picture. It bothers me, so please don't use it and change it. What are your thoughts on Starknet? I don't really hear much about them, honestly. They were like up and coming L2 or L1, but I don't hear anything about them ever. So I don't know. I like Pepe more than Doggy Coins. Okay. Thoughts on Punk? Seems to have great social media, following many wallet addresses. I have no thoughts about them. Do you think markets will pull back at the end of the month when options expire? At this point, not really. Because now we have new options. We have ones that actually really mean something from Wall Street, not the Deerbit stuff. The ETF options that debuted today have way more volume, and this is really what's going to carry the market going forward. So I don't think what we used to care about, like the Deribit options, I don't think that's going to have the same effect as it did before. MicroStrategy is almost a pure play on Bitcoin. No one cares about their legacy business. Yeah, I have no idea what they do. Their business intelligence stuff. Does anyone actually know what they do? It's a pure Bitcoin play. That's the only thing people care about with MicroStrategy. All I know is MicroStrategy is killing it. My portfolio, very small compared to my Bitcoin or crypto portfolio, but it's killing it with MicroStrategy in there. Is Kakenu still a good play considering it's not on Sol? If Avalanche gets hot. Right now, it's not. Sorry. That Avalanche not hot made me sneeze. When Avalanche gets hot again, then I think Kakenu and Big Red, they will both get hot. Right now, Avalanche is just not. It's just it hasn't picked up. It really hasn't picked up. So I don't know why. But I did tell you guys they are doing an OTC thing right now. So hopefully once that commences, it's going to pick up some steam. Hopefully. If the war escalates more, I think we'll see a little pullback. What do you think? It could. It could. This morning, it seemed like we would get a pullback, but it didn't happen, and we just kept going. So it depends on what kind of escalation, if it's a real escalation or not. Do you think Bitcoin hits 500,000 by 2025? No, Ripple. I think that's way too aggressive. That's kind of crazy. Yeah, that's it's within the realm of possibility, but it's a little crazy to go that high. I think it's more like 200, 250. But if it happens, great. Andy, appreciate it. PYOR, thank you. BTC profits will first go into XRP. Hey, if XRP breaks its 2018 high and goes to like $5 or $7 or $10, great. Great for XRP Army. They've been waiting for 6 freaking years. Ozma, what exchanges other than Coinbase would you recommend? If you guys are looking for a good foreign exchange, non-KYC, you want to maybe do a little leverage trading, or you just want more trading pairs, especially like with memes or newer coins, I would suggest BitUnix. I've been using them for probably most of this year, and they're pretty good. I have their link in the description. I've been using them. You don't have to use leverage at all. They have spot, but no KYC, open to the US. I live on their mobile app, and it's fantastic. So it's a little daunting for new people that never used like a traditional exchange, but take it easy, experiment. Just don't go crazy, but I would recommend them as a foreign exchange. But if you're in the US, then stick with, like, if you need a fiat on-ramp, stick with Coinbase or crypto.com or, Kraken or Gemini. But if you're looking for like a foreign exchange with more trading pairs, or if you want to do a little leverage, then go with the foreign one. Josh, what is your opinion on Jupiter in relationship with the Sol ecosystem? It's probably the best one in Sol, in my opinion. So they're the biggest DEX aggregator, and it's a fantastic DEX aggregator. If you use it, it's lightning fast. I think they're awesome. Jupiter used to move in tandem with Sol. I don't know what happened. It used to be like neck and neck with Sol, and then it somehow decoupled. I actually don't know why it happened, but eventually it'll probably couple again. But I love using it. If you're buying like a meme on Sol, I always use Jupiter. Thoughts on new Matt Fury Project Ducky? I have no thoughts on it. There's really no point of asking about a new meme project. Like, there really isn't. If it's not a rug, great. Is it going to pump? No one knows. Is it going to get rugged by, you know, like the founders or whatever? I mean, there's only so much you can check. Like, you really don't know. You really don't know. There's no point of asking about it. No point about asking to chart it or anything. It's just randomness. You don't know if it's going to blow up to $1 billion. You don't even know if it's going to reach 100 million. Do you think fee mix is legal to use in the US? Well, it's debatable. But if an exchange, if you can't like use it without a VPN, then is it really legal? I don't know. I know VMEX requires you to use a VPN to use them, so I don't know if that counts as it. Orca. Aren't they a DEX on Solana? Outside of Radium, I think it's Orca. I think if you use Jupiter, it uses them too. So, yeah, they're actually on Coinbase. That's impressive. Yeah, they're a DEX on Solana. Yeah, they're 171 million. Radium is 1.5 billion. Cole Hampton. Thank you. Evening. Bitcoin just, according to Gus, Bitcoin is just 1.9 trillion from reaching #2 world market cap, just under gold. What time frame do you think it will hit that milestone? 1.9 trillion more? Probably sometime next year. It's not going to break gold until the next cycle. It's not going to do it this cycle, but probably the end of this cycle. End of this cycle, it'll be #2. I'm pretty sure that'll happen. When it reaches like 200, 300,000, yeah, it'll be, if you double this market cap, right? That's 1.8, 1.9 trillion. So Bitcoin will be like 180, 200,000. That's when it becomes #2. But keep in mind, those other companies will go up too. So it still might, yeah, Bitcoin needs to be about like 250,000 to be #2. Any news about birth of a new killer in crypto? No, that doesn't even make sense. You wouldn't know it's a new killer in crypto. There wouldn't be news about it. Any thoughts on Intel markets? I got 6K in it. Pretty sure it's a rug pull. David, what do you mean by that? What's Intel markets? Is that a meme coin? Like, I don't even know what that means. Alex Labs. I don't know. I'm neutral on them. They're focused on Bitcoin. They're like a whole ecosystem around Bitcoin. I was talking to the team a little bit, and then we just like stopped talking. I don't quite know what they're doing these days. So yeah, they got all this stuff built for Bitcoin. They got a launchpad, self-service listing. They got this bridge. liquid staking. I don't know if it's all working or not. Yeah, I don't actually know. It sounds promising, but I just don't know if they're all working and how many people are actually using it. It could be good. You know, earlier this year, there was a lot of enthusiasm over like all these things being built on top of Bitcoin. I feel like a lot of it died down because I think a lot of people agree with my sentiment, and that is Bitcoin should be just used as a store of value. Ultimately, I think that's the purpose of Bitcoin, store value, or also medium exchange. But to utilize it like a smart contracts platform, like kind of like what Ethereum and Solana is, I don't see a need for that. So I don't know. Some people disagree. There are people that are obviously building on top of Bitcoin. I don't know if that's ever going to really catch on, but Alex Labs obviously is in that space. Alchemy Pay, they're in the payment system. I don't hear a lot of people talk about them anymore. Sold a small amount of Bitcoin to pay off some credit cards. Mistake. I don't know, man. That's not a question you should be asking me. Only you know that. If you had to pick, does Bitcoin hit 100K November, December? November. It could happen tomorrow. Do you still believe, Ramon asked, do you still believe in L2s like stacks for Bitcoin, OP Arbitrum pull for ETH? That's a good question, Ramon. See, that's a really good question. Less so now. You know why? Because I think, like I said, I think Souls will take over ETH. So if that's the case, what's the real use for like L2s for ETH? Right? They're only gonna get weaker, like Optimism, Arbitrum, Polygon, Base. They're gonna get weaker then, right? Stacks for Bitcoin is a different story. But I think that's probably still continue to be strong. But me personally, I just think Bitcoin should be more of a store of value than a programmable layer. But again, if a lot of people are going to still program on top of Bitcoin, stacks is still gonna be strong. MicroStrategy versus Pepe. That's a good question. I don't know, man. Just go with both. Just go with both. There's no reason why you have to pick one or the other. Is Bonk still moving up? Oh man, Bonk is still moving up. I closed my long because I think it's going to go down, but I might be wrong. That's a huge volume bar right there. Gaming is dead. You just don't know. It's too early to make that call. Gaming, gaming seems dead every cycle until like the tail end, altcoin season comes, and then like everything explodes. So you just don't know. You really don't know. This time around, there are a lot more games, better games. So I think you just have to wait and see. I think Alchemy Pay will run this cycle. Again, wait and see. I don't hear nearly as many people talk about Alchemy Pay as last cycle, so maybe. Sith Lord, my question was meant to be, would it be better off? Again, I'm not your financial advisor, man. It's not a question to ask me. If you are drowning in credit card debt, then only you would know if it's better to pay off that versus holding on Bitcoin. It's not a question to ask me. I'm not your financial advisor. It does look like it's going to come down. Sean, with Sui being the next big L1, we should consider memes. I saw Tsunami, and I think the name is clever. What are your thoughts on the name? The name is clever, but they also have another one too. They have Super Saiyan or something like that, or is that on? Maybe that's Injective or something. Rick, thank you. Sean, I mean the name does sound good, but look at all the soul memes that pumped. Most of them sound stupid. So I don't know if the name really means a whole lot, to be honest. I really don't. Like Bonk, is Bonk a good name? Like, I don't know. To me, that doesn't sound like a good name. But hey, maybe. The Shamist, bonked at 30 billion. I guess it could happen, sure. All right, guys. Time to get some rest. Tomorrow will be another big day. We get endless good news, one after another after another. We saw a new all-time high for Bitcoin. Are we going to see another one tomorrow? Quite possibly. I mean, if you just look at this trend line, it's pretty obvious what Bitcoin is doing. We just keep forming a new high, and we keep trending higher and higher and higher and higher and higher. Tomorrow, we can see 95, 96,000. Who knows? So tune in tomorrow, 8:30 a.m. Central Standard Time, and we'll see where tomorrow takes us. Smash the like, subscribe to the channel. Have a good night, guys. Take care. Bye-bye.